Hello. Hello, hello. How is everyone doing today? First, second, third. Crazy Four Nikes, hello. How are you doing? Alice is fourth. Alice, how are you doing? It's nice to see you. How is everyone doing today? Welcome to Couch Sessions episode 3. Today we have a very special guest over. In a couple minutes, Jovan, GobotKadet, is gonna come over, and we're gonna talk about his music journey. If you don't know who Jovan is, on Twitch his name is GobotKadet. He is a super talented music streamer, musician, award-winning, autistic award-winning musician. Jovan has toured in Japan. He has, made amazing originals. The music you're hearing right now is actually Jovan's original, one of Jovan's originals, the ones that play in the background. It is beautiful. Second part of the stream, you guys will be able to ask Jovan questions. Of course, the questions will need to be, cautious of privacy and stuff. But we have a little form if you want to submit questions. It is open. Thank you, Alice, for doing that. And you guys can submit questions, and then at the end of the stream, the second part of the stream, we can maybe Jovan can answer some questions from you guys. So if you have burning questions you've been wanting to ask Jovan, or you're very curious about something, we can ask them. Of course, the questions will be kind of moderated. I trust everyone to ask, nice questions. You know what I mean? Hello. Cool. How are you doing?
I am all right. I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Had a slow start today. I'm doing good. Thanks for accepting to be on the show. You're the second guest actually, in total.
Second?
Yeah, so this is the third episode for the Couch Session. We started the Couch Sessions I think around November of last year.
Okay.
And so the first one, it was just me, and then we had Gary Lucas Music. I don't know if you know who was over for the first. He was the first guest ever, and you.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you are the second guest. So.
Nice.
So, yeah. Well, thank you for coming over. It's okay, Alice. It's okay. Do not worry. Cool. So yeah, I don't know if you want to introduce yourself to people, if they don't know who you are, or if they've never seen your stream, because you're also a streamer. Right. Feel free to share.
So for those of you who don't know me, I am an autistic pianist, music composer, arranger, and my real name is Jovan, but I am known as GobotKadet here. So it's nice to meet you guys.
I don't know if you can share about where your GobotKadet name came from, or is it something private?
It's a long story. It just started with my uncle when I moved to Atlanta from New Jersey. My uncle, out of nowhere, he called me Gobot, and I didn't like the name first.
Okay.
I did not like it, so I'm like, yo, why you calling me that? Would you stop? And I'm like,
okay.
And eventually, it kind of sticks. So it's like he kept calling me that for the past 3 years.
Okay.
For 3 years, he kept calling me Gobot until it just clicked. I'm like, you know what? Might as well make it my stage name, my musician name.
So is Gobot just your musician name, or is it just the Twitch username, or is it both?
It's my stage name.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay.
So yeah.
So it's fine to call you Gobot then. People know you as Gobot as well. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Actually, my Japanese viewers know me as Gobot.
Okay, yeah, because
Actually,
I
so
was
yeah.
just thinking that Gobot does have a little Japanese sound, kind of like an anime. It has a kind of anime kind of like name,
Yeah.
like a like bot and Gobot. Like I don't know, it has like Astrobot, kind of like that kind of sounding to it.
Yeah.
I feel.
Have you heard of the
Um,
Gobots before?
I don't think I have actually.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a American classic show where I mean I think that's where my uncle got it from, but
Okay,
it's a classic show. Kind of like
that's
it
fun.
rivals Transformers, if that
Okay,
makes sense.
that's fun.
So yeah.
That's fun. Yeah. So you said you were an award-winning musician. Can
Yes.
you tell us more about what you do for like music wise, and also like how like about a bit about your music journey? How that all started. Yeah, what kind
Yeah.
of music you're doing. Like,
Yeah, so as you guys know in my bio, I've been playing piano since I was 2 years old.
that's insane.
Don't, nah, not it's not that insane if you think about it. It just started with me being on the keys. So, anyways, I started playing when I was 2 years old, and from there, I was just banging on the keys from here and there, and
Awesome.
so from there, I kind of started just playing note by note, by the time progressive, and then started teaching myself chords and hearing music, and I don't know, the first song I heard, I remember this. It was Maroon 5, This Love.
Oh, I love that song. I also love Maroon
Yeah,
5. They're great.
yeah, so it was
Yeah.
definitely Maroon 5. I used to dance to it, and then during the verses, I used to hide. And then when the chorus hits, I would come out, dance with full energy. My mom has a video somewhere of it.
That's
If I find it,
amazing.
I'm gonna share it. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
anyways, back to the piano journey. So by the time when I was 12 and I improved a lot actually with self-teaching.
Yeah.
By 12, I started playing with a local church as a start,
Okay.
actually. So
Fun.
it was more like the pastor was like, I volunteered to play piano, and it was for free,
Yeah.
and I didn't care about getting paid because I loved doing music
Yeah.
at the time, and just like, all right, just don't mess this up. Besides that, you can play. So yeah, I didn't mess it up. I played, and it worked out from there. So during the time, I I was taking classical piano lessons too
Okay.
at the time. So just because I wanted to compose music, I'm like,
Yeah.
hey ma, I want to compose music. Is there anything I could do? It's just like, yeah, you got to take piano lessons. I'm like, what? That's lame.
Yeah. Yeah.
so so at the time, I hated practicing piano
Yeah.
at the time. So I'm like, I love the instrument. I love the instrument, but
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, but I hated practicing.
Yeah.
Like, I did not want to practice. So during the time, and then at the time, I had to move to Atlanta as well. So that was like a year later or so. And then I was angry by the time I had to move. I'm like, oh, come on. Like, mom, I have everything here. Why do I have to move to
Yeah.
Atlanta? So it was more anger than sadness in my opinion.
Yeah.
But when I moved here, I don't know, I discovered so many new stuff that I could do. And
Yeah.
then we had another piano teacher, um, a Japanese piano
Okay.
teacher, and she actually taught me the classical things, not just classical, but she
Yeah.
taught me simple music theory. Like, thanks to her, I wouldn't be here today. So
That's cool. Yeah. It's funny
yeah,
how like one
and
person can like shape your future or like, where you go.
yeah,
Um,
Yeah, because
Yeah.
this is what generally what I wanted to do in the future.
Yeah.
And then by the time when I was 15 or 14 years old, I started composing
That's
and
crazy.
started
It's that's
rearranging.
quite that's so
Yeah,
young. I think,
yeah,
but it's really
yeah,
cool.
yeah. I was
It's really fun. Yeah.
yeah, I was 14 around that time, and
Cool.
I got more opportunities from there.
Okay.
Started and then it's crazy how it ended up like this. So from there, from 14 to somewhat 20, I've been playing on gigs as well, been taking
Yeah.
lessons, and I've been participating on piano classical competitions.
That's crazy.
And
That's so cool.
yeah, so I managed to win one of them. I have a trophy
That's
somewhere. So
amazing. So is that where the award winning comes from, or did you win
yeah,
more? Or okay. Yeah.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
got certificates. I got one trophy, and then
Yeah.
yeah. So that's why I'm like, my mom confirmed it. It's like, yo, you're an award-winning musician. I didn't believe it at
That's
first.
crazy. But so
Yeah.
how old were you again when you won that? The first one? Like
The
around
first
how old?
one, I was 16. I was
Wow.
16.
So it was an award. It
Yeah.
was an award like around your own like composition. It was like you played your own.
No,
No, okay,
it was more for classical piano.
that's cool though.
Yeah, and then from 20 to recently, I started making connections from all the way from Japan
Yeah.
just by doing some live streams from a platform called Showroom.
Okay.
And yeah, Showroom is one of those Japanese platforms, kind of like Twitch, but also not.
Yeah,
If that makes sense. So from there, I made a whole lot of connections, which allowed me to be able to tour over there.
that's cool.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
and then if you want to see my shows, you can watch it on my YouTube for sure.
Yes,
And
please go follow
yeah,
Gobot. He has a YouTube channel. He also have a Spotify. You have Amazon Music. I saw you're on all the platforms
yeah,
practically. I think.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
So
yes.
yeah, if you want to see my shows, I'm there. So I got a chance to tour in three locations actually. So it was
Yeah,
Miyagi, Tokyo,
that's
and
crazy.
Hiroshima. So like it was all in one trip. So it's like,
Yeah,
and this was my first time in Japan because
yeah, that's
I
amazing.
never traveled to Japan before. But
How was the tour? Like how did it feel? And also like how did you feel during the tour? Because I imagine that it must have
uh
been a little overwhelmed, like a little like I don't know if it was overwhelming, but maybe like since it's a new thing.
yeah,
How did it feel
um
to do that? Because yeah,
I felt very excited,
yeah,
honestly, and I didn't feel the nervousness at all. And I'm like, yeah, let's do this.
yeah,
I'm ready to rock. And because I've always wanted to tour like when I was watching my mentor, Philip Feaster, who was touring for a gospel artist, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to do that.
yeah,
So so I used to watch his live streams during his Facebook, and he would stream himself performing
yeah.
with the band, and I'm like, yes, this is what I want to do.
That's amazing. And were
So
there a lot of people who came to see you in Japan? Like, do you have a like a
honestly,
how big was the people? Yeah, yeah,
surprisingly, yeah, a lot of people came,
it's
and
amazing.
because
Yeah,
I didn't think that I was that popular in Japan. And then
yeah,
after my Japan tour, I had to fly to Korea to perform
that's
with an
amazing.
orchestra. So
Yeah, I remember you told me actually. I think it was I think it was last year. No, you told me. I remember that you were going doing a Japan tour. I was so impressed. I
yeah,
was like, damn, that's really cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And then actually
yeah,
during South Korea, it was funny actually. So I have a friend who plays cello,
okay,
and she actually recommended my music to
that's
the
so
orchestra,
cool.
and
Yeah,
they asked me like, "Hey, do you mind if we play your music?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I don't mind." So I literally had to I wrote
yeah,
the orchestral parts and just for them to
yeah,
play, and when I came to Korea, originally I was going to watch them,
Yeah.
but instead they pulled me up on stage to
That's so
perform
fun.
with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Nervous a
unexpectedly,
little.
but it was so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and
Mm.
plus it was like a almost sold out show too, so it's like a huge crowd too.
That's amazing. And
So
did you find like there are differences between like Japan and Korea, like the people there when you
yeah,
performed? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Honestly, because it was in a classical setting, of course, people had to be like respectfully silent and all. But with Japan, I was telling them like, hey, feel free to make some noise, feel free to
Yeah.
record,
Yeah.
and I got that. So
Yeah.
like
That's amazing.
because because I wanted to engage with my audience while I'm performing as
Yeah.
well.
And like yes, and did you also do performances in the US? Because I know you were from. So I don't know if you guys know this, but Jovan is from the US
Yeah.
originally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I do, but not as often.
Okay.
So that's why I'm trying to push to
Yeah.
move to Japan so
That'd be
that way
awesome. Yeah.
I will have more opportunities over there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's amazing.
I feel like I
Yeah.
have more opportunities over there than
Yeah.
here in the US.
Well,
So,
you
yeah.
did do a tour. You did do a tour, so yeah, I guess
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
doing another one this year. They've been calling me back.
I don't know if like you wanna share like I don't know if you already know dates and you wanna share them or I don't know
Yeah, we're working on the
if
dates right
yeah,
now, but one of the dates will be on September 28th
fun. Okay.
on the Sunday. So,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah,
Awesome.
so that'll be one of the shows I'll be in.
And yeah, because I've never been to Japan, but that sounds amazing. You will need to share to send us like videos and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, so if you want to follow my YouTube, it's my Twitch handle if you want
Yes.
to see it.
Yeah, guys, go
Yeah.
follow Jovan if you're not doing so yet. He's amazing. And
Thank you.
and also you said so you started playing piano at 2 years old.
Mhm.
Like how did you come up like about that? Like did you already have like did you already have the piano available and then you like because you said you were self-taught, right?
Yeah. During the time I had a piano available during the time because it was my grandmother's piano
Okay.
that I used to just go up to whenever I go to her house. I'm like, yeah, let me go to the piano. So I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah. So it was just there, and I would just bang on the keys during the age. So I
Yeah.
wasn't sure what I was doing.
Yeah, because at 2 years old, can you walk at 2 years old? I don't remember. I don't know, but
It depends on your strength, on your like strength and on your growth.
so
So
you could play
yeah,
piano like yeah, particularly when you walked, started walking.
yeah,
I guess
yeah,
that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
That's amazing. And then you started. So you were an award. So you won awards at 16. How did that feel? To like be like. So you said you were in the like you performed in churches first.
Yes.
And how does it feel to because I don't know if like you had other like friends or like I don't know if I would say colleagues, but other musicians that you knew who were playing with you at the time, or is it only on your like alone?
Um,
Um,
at the time with
yeah.
churches, I was playing with a band,
Okay.
and the music director, who was the drummer, his
Yeah.
name is Jeremy. So Jeremy would tell me like, hey, use this sound, use that sound. It's
Yeah.
like he would guide me through
Okay.
what sounds to use, and it really helped because he helped me build myself up in the time where I needed to start building.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
as for classical compositions, I was alone completely.
Yeah.
It was just me because I was the only black person
Yeah.
there. There were nothing but Asians who were taking this
That's
composition.
fun. Yeah. Interesting.
So
Yeah.
it was nerve wracking, and
Yeah.
a lot of people were shocked because they're like, "Oh my gosh, she sounds so good! What in the world?" So
Yeah.
people were unexpectedly shocked. So it's
That's
like
amazing.
I'm not sure it was a cultural thing
Yeah.
or so. But I'm like, why you surprised? I didn't think I did it. I didn't think
Yeah.
I did that well
Yeah.
first,
Okay.
because how hard? Because I'm pretty hard on myself with some
Yeah.
things,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah. So it's
That's
just,
alright.
I don't know. I guess it was a cultural thing. Why they were shocked.
Yeah, but I think it was also probably I don't know how old they were, but probably your age, because I think when you're super young, it's always like, surprising, like not surprising in a bad way, but I think it's like, oh wow, he's
Mm,
super talented, And how did it
yeah.
feel being like that young, and already being like like pushed forward, with your music, winning award, being pushed in that direction and having that, like, I would say success. I would say because you yeah, um, yeah,
Honestly, honestly, it feels. I don't know. I can't describe it. It's a good feeling, but at the same time, I want to be aware of, you know, my growth. I'm still growing into it, and so,
yeah,
and actually, the first few compositions, it was two compositions. I actually I failed at first.
yeah. Okay,
So so I'm like, okay, I failed. So next time I'm gonna do my best,
yeah,
because there were more competitions flying by at the time. So
yeah,
I still have my certificate for outstanding performance, right?
yeah.
But what I didn't pass the theory test.
Okay. Oh yeah,
So the theory test was
yeah,
part of the compositions. So it was it was heartbreaking at first. I'm like, okay, I might know this, but instead I failed, and
yeah,
that failure taught me, like, all right, you gotta be kind of be prepared. So
yeah,
so yeah, so it was about dropping my pride during that time,
yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, they say failure is the best teacher.
Honestly,
So
it
yeah.
really is. It does like teach you things, and like,
Mhm.
and also like, I guess, like, like a not giving up kind of thing. It's not
Yeah.
because you like lose, or you don't succeed in something that you then need to stop doing it. I think it's just like keep working on it, or keep
Yeah.
pushing. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. It's
yeah,
about perseverance.
yeah,
You gotta keep persevering too.
yeah.
And I managed to do that because I didn't want to give up of doing what I love the most.
Yeah, I think that's amazing, because I think a lot of people, I mean, especially, so I don't know how your support system was when you did, like, when that happened, but a lot of people, don't always have like a support system when they do that, and so they're like, when they like hit like a bump in the road, or they experience like something like negative, or just a little, some they tend to like be like, oh, it's not for me, or like, they give up. And so
Yeah.
it's amazing that you managed to pull through. And like, yeah, how was your like support system when this happened? Like, were you like, did your family support you, like,
It
yeah,
was very low. My family,
okay,
well, at least because I was far from family, most of my family is in Jersey.
okay, yeah,
And honestly, most of my dad's side of the family is here in Atlanta. But honestly, my dad's side of the family haven't really supported me back then,
okay,
unfortunately. So
yeah,
it's more like, so I didn't really have the support system. So I kind of had to just be able to pull myself up
yeah,
back then,
yeah,
and I can still pull myself back up today whenever
yeah,
I need to.
yeah, that's
But
amazing. Yeah,
yeah, I had a very low support system back then. But all I had was my mother
yeah,
and my piano teacher.
yeah. Well, I think at
So
least you had, like, someone. I think that's like, yeah, that's good
yeah,
to help, like, yeah, that's like, a lot of people don't realize this, but like, like, I mean, I didn't have a lot of like support system with the creative stuff either.
Mm.
And so people are always like, oh, it's amazing what you do and all, but they don't realize always like the work, the emotional and like the internal like struggles and
Ah,
work that it takes to get there, because it's
yeah.
not like always. I mean, first of all, it's not always like an overnight like thing, and also sometimes it can be lonely when you don't have the like people like helping you or supporting you in what you do.
That
And that,
is
yeah,
true. That is true. Cause
yeah,
yeah, sometimes we have to just build ourselves up, and
yeah,
it's it's easier said than done.
yeah. I
But
know it. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah, because people are like, oh, they see people being successful, and they're like, they think it happened like overnight, or it was like an easy thing, but yeah, they don't
yeah,
realize that the work it takes, even if it's just like the emotional and like the internal work, of like not giving up, keep pushing, and
yeah,
just
yeah.
like
So
not being too hard on yourself, which something it can be hard, I guess. But yeah, you doing
yeah, for sure. So I honestly, I had some haters along the way.
that. Oh yeah, they're always haters. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So
yeah,
like there was this
yeah,
one hater I came across on YouTube.
yeah,
I don't know. He was subscribed to me. I'm like, all right, cool. So he's been subscribing to me for a while until he said like I forgot the comment. I
yeah.
already reported to him. So it's like he was saying like I'm like I'm Jovan's like the most weakest person, or I'm like two faced. I'm like
That's
cringe.
ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. Like honestly, I
Yeah,
wanted to say something back. I'm like, wait, he's not with it. So it's like,
yeah,
I'm about to
mm,
say, like, I wanted to say, like, man, you don't know my story. You only
yeah.
see a moment of me during my downside. You don't know
Exactly,
my success. You don't know what I've been through.
exactly.
So what gives you the right to say that? So I wanted to say that, but
Yeah.
instead I just backed off. I'm like, he's
Yeah,
not worth it.
I think a lot of I think we talked about this. I talked about this a little bit the other day on another stream, but like, people who hate usually, generally it's because of jealousy. They are
Yep.
jealous that they think that like they see something that they think they can't achieve, and so they will think, oh, and they will make up like stories about you, about like, oh, he's pretentious, or he's showing off, or he's I mean, as you said, the guy said probably like two-faced or this stuff, which is not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily true. It's just they are projecting their own like jealousy and insecurities onto you.
Something to
I've
make him feel
had that
better.
as well. I've experienced that as well, and I mean it is I think it's like human, I guess, to experience jealousy, but to like bring someone down because of jealousy, I feel that's like very wrong. Um,
It is.
and especially when
I
you are
agree.
like a content creator, I feel, oh, like when you're like a musician or a content creator, and you have like a public like face, like a public appearance, people
Yeah.
usually mainly see the good side, like the good part of it, or like the like the positive, or like the open part of it, but they don't see like all the struggle and the work and like the about it. That's quite true. um
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. That's why I'm like
yeah,
sometimes I would try to tackle serious situations on stream, but not in the point where it's like super heavy,
yeah,
in the point where they don't enjoy the stream. So
yeah,
I mean, it's okay to be real sometimes.
yeah, of
So,
course, of course. And but have you experienced that a lot, like the hate part, like,
not a lot. Not a lot, honestly.
okay, that's good.
I feel that sometimes I've been, I don't know. I guess the right people came during the
Yeah,
time or so. Like the right people come in the right time, and I don't know. I just haven't experienced it
yeah, that's good,
as
I
much
think.
as I
Like,
thought I would. So
yeah,
yeah.
I think that's good. Also, hi Mark.
Mhm.
And yes, chicken curry is a good day.
Chicken
um,
curry.
do you like that? Do you like chicken curry? I don't know if you had that before.
I haven't tried it. I
Yeah.
haven't tried it yet.
In Japan, they have a lot of curries. No, I think they have curries. I guess next time you go, you can try that. I guess
Uh,
it's a little
shoot,
different. I
yeah.
guess. Yeah.
I haven't tried the teriyaki chicken over there. Oh, I did
Yeah.
not have the time to like.
No worries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm like, hopefully next time this year,
Yeah.
I could try some.
That'd be
So
cool.
yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys just arrived, Jovan, he's a autistic, multi-talented, and award-winning pianist, and he's doing another tour in Japan around September. So I mean, I guess if you wanted to see Jovan, there might be tickets. I don't know, but
There will
that's
be
yeah,
tickets.
there will be
There
tickets.
will be
Okay,
tickets.
okay,
Yeah.
that's amazing. And so, have you ever only played like keyboard, piano, or have you also tried other instruments? Or, yeah,
Oh, no, I play
no.
on the instruments too.
Okay, oh, okay. What
Yeah,
do you play?
I play
What else?
drums. I play drums and bass
Okay,
along.
awesome.
So yeah, so
Yeah.
sometimes if you see my IG, sometimes you'll see me on the drums and
Okay.
sometimes you'll see me on the bass.
Okay.
So it's more like me becoming a multi-instrumentalist and just truly understanding the instruments
That's
and how
amazing. Yeah.
I can bring those instruments into my music or how I can use it.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah. And so I saw that you have already a couple of originals and albums, right? Albums.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about your work? Like the different albums, what like if there's any inspiration, what they're about, and yeah,
Yeah.
talk us through
So
them.
honestly, most of my albums is all about my own experiences and what I've been experiencing, like mentally, physically, and
Yeah,
emotionally. So I'm like, if someone would be going through the same thing as I would be, how could I convert that into my own music? So
yeah,
that's why I thought, and I've always used that kind of motivation to make my own original songs,
yeah.
and in a point, and it can be inspirational too. If you listen to one of my songs called Time Travel, then
Okay,
that's more inspirational.
okay,
Or Team 64, that's inspirational from a video game or so.
okay.
It's more like what I'm doing at the moment, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
I guess that's how I write. So like if I'm in the moment of like inspiration of a movie or an anime, then I would want to write
Yeah,
something based on that. So like I would try to carry, at least pick up some multiple materials here and there
yeah.
that has the same vibe, and then try to put them all together and make it as my own.
Awesome. Yeah,
So
yeah. Because
yeah,
we're
so
currently
most
playing one of your originals. Actually, I don't know if you hear. You might
driving
not hear.
home.
Yeah, it's called Driving
Yeah,
Home. I really like this one. It's
yeah.
very like chill. It's nice. It's nice and
Yeah,
like
so
calm.
this one,
Um,
so this song actually is one of my old songs that I written in 2020
okay.
actually, and honestly, I was more experimenting of what do I want to do with this album. So
Okay.
it's like, do I want to do solo piano or do I want to have other instruments with me?
Yeah.
Like, what should I do? So it's more like this album, Spending the Day, is more about experimenting and finding my own sound. And
Okay.
I'm still finding my own sound today,
Yeah.
but it's it can be hard sometimes. I'll just say that
Yeah.
it's hard to find your own self sometimes.
It definitely
And
is. It definitely is.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess
So
it's like
it's
a
just
journey. To like find what
yep,
your sound is. I guess.
yep. And I'm making a new album as we speak today. So
Oh,
yeah.
fun, fun, fun.
You know what? I want to send you my album art on Discord if that's okay.
Yes, you can do that.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yes.
if you guys don't know, I'm making a new album
That'd be fun.
called Human, and it's just about it's about like what it means to be human or so.
Yeah.
So so let me share that on the
Yes.
Discord
I'll
real
post that in
quick.
the chat.
But yeah,
Let you have that. But yeah, so if you can support Jovan, that would be amazing. If you're not following Jovan yet, you should like do that. And
I
yeah, go check out
appreciate the
his
shout
music.
out.
I mean,
So
we've been playing some one of his tracks, but he has a couple on Spotify and on YouTube as well. And a new album coming out this year, which is very exciting. Um,
yeah,
Ooh, I like it. I like the purple.
yeah,
Can I share this or is it private?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You could show it.
Um, let me see. How can I? Maybe I'll show it. I'll post it in my Discord.
Hmm?
Yeah. So if you want to see the new album cover, sneak peek. Um, I posted in the creations channel.
Yep.
Um,
So let me tell you what the album art
yeah.
came from. So actually, this is actually a real photo that I took when I was walking with a friend of mine in the park on Saturday, and we we were just walking in, and what you see is just filters. These are just filters.
Yeah. Okay.
But we were in the park in Lithonia, Georgia,
Okay.
and there was this huge, beautiful field and huge road around the trail, which we walked into, and we were like, "Oh my gosh, this is beautiful!"
Yeah.
And then people were telling me, "Well, like, hey, you should make that as an album art sometime."
That is a really nice
I'm
one.
like,
Yeah.
"That's it." So
Yeah.
yeah, so I made it as an album art cover and added some filters, added some color into it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Let me try to put it up on stream so you guys can see it. Uh,
Yeah.
it is a nice cover. And so do you want to share more about what? So you said the new album is called Human. So it's a human experience. Is that right?
Yeah. So something like the human experience, because especially in today's world, I feel like we're all forgetting how to be human. If
Yes,
that makes
I
sense.
agree. I agree
So
with
it's more like this was more of inspirational to me to remind people like, hey, it's okay to be human. You don't have to be like this or so on.
that. Yeah.
So I just want to be able to remind people about it and so on.
And do you already do you already know how many tracks you'll have in that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I already got it planned out. It's still in production
Okay.
actually. I'm collaborating with more people than just my friend on cello,
Okay.
Elise Jung. So we have another YouTuber who's on his crash course right now,
Yeah.
Silent D Productions,
Okay.
and then my uncle's in it, and then I have a Japanese singer,
Okay.
a Korean guitarist,
Nice.
songwriter, and then I have a Japanese guitarist with me. So I'm
Yeah.
collaborating with all these wonderful people who
And
are doing this with me.
do you like sing sometimes, or do you just do instrumental stuff?
Well, yeah. So I'm singing in one of the tracks.
Okay.
However, my uncle and the Japanese singer that I'm in contact with, they're singing with two of my tracks.
Okay. Fun.
Yeah.
Vin, sorry I was lurking. No worries.
No worries, man. No worries.
No worries. But yeah, that's so fun. So yeah, coming out end of the year. And so
Mm-hmm.
like you have a yeah, so you said you have a team of people working with you for your albums, which is nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Which is amazing to me because
Yeah.
for the past three albums I've been working actually I've been doing everything by myself.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to have like people who
So
can like yeah, to help you out and stuff.
yeah, so like
Yeah.
besides Brooklyn Kaiju who does my album arts, and then of course Elise on cello, these two I have to give a huge credit to these two just because they helped me build around it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they they helped me push my vision into reality.
Yeah.
And I can't thank them enough for it. So
Yeah.
they gave me a good head start that I needed and all.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely
That's nice. Yeah,
gotta
I
give
love
them
the
props.
cover. I really like the album cover.
Yeah,
Um,
thank you so much.
but yeah, so
So
when you release this, feel free to
mhm.
post to share so we can support. And yeah, you also do a lot of music that are video game and anime inspired.
Uh,
Um, like yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Like I don't know if you guys have ever been on Jovan's streams before. I think we rated Jovan once, but like he has like I mean you can already see behind him he has like three keyboards. He has like
yeah.
you know like when he plays music on stream, okay, like it sounds like a whole tech, you know, like expert thing. It's incredible with the lights the lights and the instruments and all. It's like it's really really cool. And yeah, no, I think it's really cool. And like so I guess you playing in Japan, I don't know if it's like because you were playing, were you playing video games music before going to Japan, or was it like, you know, because you went to Japan then you
Oh,
start, you know, because like in Japan, I mean obviously there's a lot of you know, anime and video games stuff.
yeah.
Is it, yeah.
Honestly, I started way before, way
Okay.
before I started
Yeah.
touring in Japan. So, because when I was like 3 or 2 years old, I don't know. There was this game called I don't know, Super Smash Brothers Melee.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
that was like literally the first game I played with my uncle and my cousins.
Yeah.
So it was more like ever since then, like, oh my gosh, I love the menu music so much. And
Yeah.
from there, it was just stuck in my head, and I'm like, I want to make something like that.
Yeah.
So it was more like, yeah, I'm more into video game music than
Yeah.
actual film music. But
Yeah.
with in terms of film music too,
Yeah.
my first film music I ever heard was Star Wars,
Oh,
actually.
I like Star Wars. Yeah.
Yeah, Star Wars
Yeah.
was one of the first film
Yeah.
film music that I've heard, and plus I was humming it during the time too,
Yeah.
perfect pitch and all. So,
Amazing.
yeah,
Yeah. There's a lot of
yeah,
cool tracks in Star Wars. I mean, there's the main one, obviously, but
of
there are
course,
a couple of cool ones. Yeah.
yeah,
What is
like
your
this.
favorite? What are your favorite like yeah, video game animes like tracks to play? Do you have like
Um,
favorites?
Honestly, I don't have a favorite
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
I never have a favorite because I'm going around. It just depends on what kind of mood I am in. Like
Yeah.
right now, when you rated me, you heard me play some metalcore
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
Sonic Frontiers, and then sometimes I would play orchestral stuff like Final Fantasy
I love Final Fantasy.
or just film music in general or so what.
Yeah.
And then I would do jazz, some pop,
Yeah.
some funk too, some 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would try to just depends how I feel
Yeah.
and how and what I'm doing at the time.
That's cool. Yeah. I love some
Yeah.
Final Fantasy. I've been playing the 7 and the Rebirth and all. I love that game. The soundtrack is just so good. Of the Final Fantasy.
Yeah, are you kidding? Yeah, I think they did the impossible with their soundtracks.
Yeah.
So it's like yeah, it's pretty cool how they did it.
Yeah. Alice is asking when is the release? I don't know if you have a like a date yet, but for the
It'll be
album.
releasing in November 4th, my birthday.
Oh, nice. Yeah, because
Yeah.
we are both born in November actually. We are both Scorpios. Which is fun.
Nice.
Which is fun.
Yeah.
So I guess it's like after your will you be in Japan, you think, around that time?
It'll be
Was it only
everywhere.
going to be in September? Yeah.
Yeah. September, like with touring or the release date?
Uh, I guess both, because I think September you said you were going to be in Japan, right, for the tour, your tour,
Yeah,
like a tour.
yeah. So the release date's
Yeah.
going to be like before September, but
Okay.
it'll be like it'll be available to pre-order during the time.
Awesome. So you'll have
So
some like
yeah.
sneak peeks during your Japan tour, maybe.
I might be able to live stream over there while I'm
That's
doing my
cool.
shows.
That's
So
cool.
we'll
Yes.
see.
Yeah, Alice. Yeah, guys. Jovan has his birthday in November 4th. Yeah. There's a lot of November
Oh,
people actually, or a couple of November people. I think Maker
that
is
is true.
also November, if I remember correctly.
Really?
I think
Yeah,
so. I think it was like the 5th or the 3rd. I think it was the 5th. I think Maker.
yeah, I remember celebrating his birthday with him in November.
Yeah.
Cause man, I don't know.
Of
don't
course, I
know.
remember your
I don't remember.
birthday. We wrote you a card and stuff. Maker. Vince,
Yes, it's
hello.
on the 5th.
How you doing?
Hey, this one go.
Well, yeah, we made a, so for Maker's birthday, we made a, because we had the Ariel Streamer Showcase event that we organized with Mark in Harlem, and an open mic event, and so his birthday was just was kind of like after the event in October, and so we made like a little fund for Maker, and we made a little card and stuff. Of course, I remember. Of course, I remember. Of course, yeah, the poster, the donuts. I think the goal was to make Maker cry. If you read the yeah, it worked. It worked. So mission accomplished, I guess.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You reminded me by the time when I was streaming like 2 years ago, and a lot of people written my birthday card. So like the goal is
Yeah.
like they're trying to make me cry on stream, and I'm like, guys, I'm not the type of guy who would cry on stream unless if it's necessary. So,
Yeah, I was organizing this with, so I don't know if you know Jazike, a streamer, Jazike, and MJ, his mod. And Jazak was like, "Oh my god, is he crying yet?" Yeah, we were chatting together, and we were chatting together. Like trying to figure out when should we like send the things to Mark. And Jazak was like, "Is he crying yet? Is he crying yet?" We were like, "Oh, he's not crying yet. We need to try harder."
oh dear.
No, but yeah, it was a fun time. But yes, of course I remember.
That's pretty cool.
I also remember because I remember thinking that I remember you, Jovan, coming on my stream and telling me that it was your birthday on the 4th, and I was like, oh my god, we have so many like birthdays close to each other around that time. So yeah, that's also how I remember.
Gotcha.
I was already super tired that night too, and almost canceled. Yeah, I know.
Gotcha.
Yes. But yeah, no, that was funny. But yeah, so yeah, very 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 exciting times. You also told me that you were currently studying. You were doing your bachelor's degree. I don't know if you can share a bit more about that.
Yeah. So right now I am studying to get my bachelor's degree on film, TV, and games.
That's amazing.
Composition.
Yeah.
And right now I'm actually halfway done. I have like 2 more years before
cool.
before I graduate. So here I am looking for scholarships.
That's amazing.
I'm pushing, so I'm just trying to get my degree, and plus that is the first step of my step up towards moving to Japan.
That's amazing. So. And like, what exactly do you like study? What do you study when you study film? And video games. Like, do you actually like produce things, or like what kind of things do you like kind of topics do you cover, or
yeah right now I've been studying like some music theory, and some of the classes we had to produce, and then there was just one annoying class I had to take. I forgot the name. It was like it had something to do with music theory, but it was so advanced in the point where I was getting aggravated.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
So we covered music theory, some orchestration,
Yeah.
some music history,
Yeah.
and like from early. You know what? Music history was the most interesting one because, well, I had to write exams for it. I had to write essays for it instead.
Yeah.
So it was music history, rock history, and then now I'm taking piano classes just because I have to do that in order to graduate.
That's so cool.
so, so I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, cool, fine, and I could
Yeah.
chill this semester at least for a little bit.
Yeah, it
But
sounds a lot more fun than economics. I studied economics, and yeah, that sounds a lot more fun
yeah,
than
it
finance
can be
and
fun,
stuff.
but at the same time,
Yeah.
there's math, there's social
Oh,
studies you have
okay.
to take. Yeah, so it's like there's much that you kind of gotta do.
Yeah.
And there was a class that caught my attention, which I'm taking next semester.
Ooh. Okay.
It's like a mental health class in the
Oh,
point
that's cool.
like
Yeah.
yeah, it's like mental health for musicians and
Yeah.
like like enough hours can get you to perform better, or
Yeah.
if you calm your mind you'll be able to like perform a bit better as well. So it's
Yeah.
like yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I've been also like, so I'm like I paint, but I also love like music as like a, you know, like a therapy thing. And I've actually been
Mm.
looking at doing like wanting to do some like, you know, therapy kind of thing, like music therapy, like
Yeah.
classes kind of thing. So yeah, I think these are fun because music is, I think, supposed to be kind of like therapeutic. I think.
For sure. For sure. I
Yeah.
agree. Like
Yeah.
music can change us music can change us as people. So
Yeah.
it's like it has so much power.
Definitely. I feel like music has, I don't know for you, but for me, like music has really like helped me through difficult times, but also fun times. And yeah, I think music is also meant to like, you know, bring people together. It should bring people together.
Yeah. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. It helped me a lot as well. Honestly, music helped me a lot with my autism.
Yeah.
It did, for sure. Because 9 times out of 10 when I can't sleep at night, my mom would she would turn on some music for me to sleep with, and
Yeah.
yeah, so it's like it helped me,
Yeah.
especially with my growth and with with my intelligence, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, but I
Yeah.
understand because like if like I sometimes also sleep with like, you know, when I have trouble like sleeping, like if I'm like overthinking or have like, you know, like like some anxiety or stuff like that, I like to like
Hmm.
listen to music, and it will like
Yeah.
it does like, you know, calm the nerves if I have some. Um, yeah, Vince says, I just imagine Jovan ends up teaching the teacher how to play the piano.
You know what? It's so funny because many
Yeah.
people, honestly, so many people ask if I teach.
Do
It's
you?
true.
Do you teach?
No,
No?
not at the
Okay.
moment, but I was thinking about it because
Yeah.
someone came in to me one of my gigs. It's like, yo, you have so much patience. Are
Yeah.
you sure you're not cut out to be a teacher? So
Honestly, that could be
yeah,
a fun idea. Like, you know,
yeah,
if you need some extra like, you know, cash or something, you know, or you can always branch out there.
yeah. So I'm legit
Yeah.
thinking about it. Like I'm thinking about becoming a teacher in
Yeah.
Japan, like teaching music
That'd be fun.
and
Yeah.
maybe piano too. So
So do you
yeah,
speak some Japanese then? If you, or just, yeah.
yeah,
You do? Okay.
yeah,
That's fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to speak Japanese fluently. Actually, I don't know if you saw my
Okay.
Tokyo show, then you know what I'm talking about.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Teach us, master, Vince says. There you go. I think if you do piano lessons, I think Vince would be the first to like, you know, register, I think.
He would be the first. He would be my first student.
Exactly. Gobot Senpai, exactly. There you go.
Robot Senpai is crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
so Vince, you're not the only one. One of my friends here on Twitch, he's like, "Yo, if you teach, I will extra right away too." So I was like, "Yeah, okay, sure."
Yeah, no, yeah. Honestly, guys, like, yeah, your piano skills are very impressive. like each time I come on your stream, I'm just like, how is he doing this? Like sometimes you're not even looking, and you're just like, yeah, I don't know. It's fun. It's very yeah. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Most of it is just muscle memory
Yeah,
for
I
me.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like you memorize where your finger's gonna go as
Yeah.
long as you know where your finger is, then
Yeah.
I don't know, you don't have to worry about it.
I think it makes sense. I guess when you like do something like a lot of times you, like your fingers like start to remember like yeah.
Yeah.
It
And
goes.
sometimes
Yeah.
when experimenting, my fingers automatically goes to autopilot.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
So
And does your brain also kind of like go on autopilot, and do you just like because you know like as a when you like so as an artist when you paint sometimes you go into this like phase where it's kind of like a bit like I think they call it like the painter's like trance kind of thing where it's kind of like you could just are in the zone or like the zone where you just like don't like it's almost like autopilot and you just let the your just imagination just like take over. Does that happen also for you when you like compose or like when you like play? Yeah.
Most of the time, yes.
That's the best feeling though. I don't know.
It is for sure. Most of the time, it happens when I'm composing, but when I'm performing, I'm like, yeah. When I'm performing, like you gotta know the song, know the material, and just know the feel. But if you know the feel,
yeah,
then you got it. So
yeah,
it's just there.
that's true.
Yeah, yeah. Especially with the songs I've been playing recently, some metalcore. Like once I got the feel of it, I was able to just fly my
Yeah,
fingers all over the
that's
place and
amazing.
just be myself. And
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the best. One of the best feelings when you like create is when you get in that zone where you just don't have to think anymore about what you're doing and just let the, I guess the creation like take place, like the just the magic I'd say
yeah,
happen.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Alice says,
Yeah.
so teaching group, Vince teaches bass and PE, Jovan teaches piano and Japanese, Lady teaches French and guitar. And yeah, Alice can teach cooking. We can make a whole group here. We can definitely make something cool here together.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah. I'd be down for it.
Yeah. No, that'd be fun. I mean, Alice is already learning some French already, so.
Ah,
so
really?
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm from France. I don't know if you know this, but so yeah, I've been so my streams sometimes are like I speak French sometimes on my streams, and so Alice has been taking notes, kind of.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Actually, my mom speaks French.
Oh yeah.
Too.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I told you this on stream, but by blood, I'm not fully American.
Okay.
But like when you see me moving around sometimes, well, if you watch my IG and you see me playing in a gig, I would play while standing up most of the time.
Yeah.
And I would move around and wouldn't sit still.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll dance. I'm half Islander, so
Oh, okay.
I'm half Haitian. I'm Haitian
I love that.
American.
That's cool.
Actually.
Yeah.
So
that's me. Yeah.
So
yeah. Oui, je parle un peu français. See? Alice is already almost French. There you go.
There you go. That's it.
And so, do you speak French? Do you speak some French as well?
I don't unfortunately, but I can understand some of it.
All right, yeah.
Because my mom sometimes speak it with me.
Yeah, I feel like you'd be the kind of person that if you like, if you like wanted to learn French, you would be amazing at it. Like if you wanted to learn a language, you would.
Yeah. Like right now, I'm learning multiple languages. Yeah. Like I'm still learning Korean.
That's amazing.
I'm picking up Chinese, and then I'm listening to French.
Yeah.
And then our own language, like from Haiti, Haitian Crayon.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm picking up multiple languages.
Yeah.
At the moment.
That's cool. That's yeah. Hello, Mr. Bale.
Hello, Mr. Bale. Yep.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Because on top of it, like the Asian like languages are not the easiest, I think, to learn. Like
No.
you know, because I've learned some Chinese before, and I have struggled.
Yeah, people say
Yeah,
that it's
yeah,
not easy because of the vowels and all, but once you get the vowels,
yeah, probably.
it's a wrap. You got it.
Probably. It's easy for you. It's easy. No, yeah. No, yeah, for
It's
me, what
not
was
that
hard
easy.
is for me, what was hard was to memorize all the, I think it's in Chinese, the kanji, I think it's called, like all the,
Kanji.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was hard. I had to memorize like 3,000 like words. That was difficult. I spent ages like so I'm like you know, like a visual person, like so
Hmm.
like when I write things down it's easier for me to memorize, so like I would like write down like 3,000 words, and yeah,
Wow.
it was yes,
That's a lot of work.
I took like it was like a Chinese like class at uni, because it was like a different than like economics and you know, and like finance, and I was bored of economics and finance.
Right.
And in my mind I was like, okay, you know what, why not, you know, why not try? And yeah, it was really hard. It was really
Mm.
hard. I did not speak Chinese before, so
Ah, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I do want to share this with you. So, by the time on birth, uh, the doctor said something really crazy. I don't know, like
yeah,
in terms of my own autism,
yeah.
and doctors said to my mother like I wouldn't be able to function as a human being. Like,
That's crazy. Like they say a lot of like
yeah,
they say this about a lot of people who have autism, and
that is true.
it's
Yeah, so
just
it's
I don't
like,
think that's true. Like it's always true. I don't know.
yeah, like it's not always true. And what's even more crazier, nowadays people are using autism to justify their bad behavior. And like,
Yeah,
yo, it is not cool.
yeah.
You shouldn't do that.
And
So it's
you know
like,
what?
yeah.
I'm gonna call some people out here in the chat if there are, but
Uh-oh.
like people do the same thing when they have ADHD. You know, so if you have
Really?
ADHD and you're like, oh, but you know, I do this, but I have ADHD. Yeah, you do that too. Okay.
I mean, that's just you. That's just you. Like, you
Yeah,
know.
but no, but yeah, I'm so glad you say this, because like a lot of people feel, you know, like kind of justify bad behaviors because of their diagnosis, and I'm like, you know, this is just your diagnosis. It doesn't condone bad behavior.
It doesn't condone. It doesn't justify your
Thank you,
behavior.
thank you.
Like, yeah. Yeah, so I'm like
Yeah,
I've been seeing that all over Twitter sometimes,
yeah,
and I'm like, yo, that's just you.
yes,
Like, I mean, I wouldn't get
yeah,
frustrated about it or overly frustrated about it, but I'm like, you know, I'm autistic too. What does that make me?
yeah,
You know?
exactly,
So that's why I'm like,
exactly.
that's not the
Like,
way.
yeah,
So
exactly. I mean, of course, there are different like spectrums, I guess, of like each like you know, mental health. Like I mean, you know, but like yeah, if you do something like bad behavior, like that's a bad behavior, it's not because you have
yeah.
ADHD or autism. I mean, it can influence it, but it's just that you have a bad behavior. That's all.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think you just need to like learn from it and do better. I think that's the.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if you like are comfortable talking more about your autism. So if people don't
Oh, I'm
know,
fine.
Jovan has autism.
Yes.
And I feel like a lot of people. I mean, it's a good transition actually to that topic, because I feel like a lot
Yeah.
of people like have a lot of misconceptions. There's a lot of stereotypes, you know, about autism.
Mhm.
I mean, I personally don't know much about autism. I only know from like, you know, I mean, what they portray in like series and stuff. You know, I don't know if you've seen the series called Atypical. I don't know if you that's it's about autism as well. And like yeah, I don't know if you want to
Right.
talk about can share about your experience with that. Like when like how like when were you diagnosed? How did you know? You know, how did you know? And also how did you kind of yeah, live with it, and how does
Yeah.
it like influence your music in your career?
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, so it did start with doctors saying that, and
Yeah,
unfortunately, I was born in Atlanta, Georgia. I was
yeah,
born here in Atlanta, but I was raised in Jersey
yeah.
because number one, here in Atlanta, they did not have the help that I needed for
Okay.
autistic for people who diagnosed with autism. They did not have the help down here.
Yeah,
So because I didn't talk back then, I mean, of course I walked, but I
yeah,
I refused to talk. I refused to sometimes look at people in the eye, and it was
yeah.
devastating until uh my mom and I, or my parents and I, made a visit to Jersey,
Okay.
where my auntie, and my cousins were living during the time.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, out of nowhere, I started talking. I started running
Okay.
around with my cousins. I started playing with them. And during the time, my aunt had an idea saying, like, hey, why don't you let him stay with me? Because,
Yeah.
number one, they had the help that I needed up there.
Yeah.
And, and my parents agreed to it. And honestly, I was not happy by the time I find out that my parents were leaving me.
Yeah.
I was not happy.
Yeah.
so
Yeah. I
so
can imagine. Yeah.
yeah, so my aunt took care of me. She was able to kind of help me get around through autism until my parents officially moved to Jersey.
Yeah.
In the point, they quit their jobs, moved to Jersey, and we lived there for 8 years.
Yeah.
And during the growth, I started to get more and more active
Yeah.
and more functional, thanks to the help I received.
Okay.
And then thanks to, of course, my parents, who were willing to give the world
Yeah.
to me, and
Yeah.
then the sacrifices they put into.
That's
And
amazing.
then yeah, and then on top of that, I did encounter people who were jealous of me or
Yeah.
conscious of me because number one, I told them, like, hey, I'm autistic, so just. And then some people actually crossed the line, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people crossed the line with me, and I didn't get into fights, but instead, some people started the fights with me,
Yeah.
attacking me, yelling at me to, like, yo, fight back, fight back. So it's
Yeah.
like, this was like fourth, fifth grade. No,
Yeah.
it was fifth. It was fifth grade. It was fifth and second grade by the time
That
people were
sucks. Yeah.
yeah, it was fifth and second grade by the time where people started, like, they wanted to get into a fight with me. They wanted me to get in trouble. And
Yeah.
honestly, I didn't do it, but I did get into some fights every now and then. I
Yeah.
could be honest with you with that.
I
So
mean, you're
I'm not.
human. Yeah. It's yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm not always a goody two shoes as you think I am.
I don't think
um,
that, but no. But
no. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But
yeah. So
I'm just
sometimes
saying.
like you never
Not you.
know
Not
if
you.
you. Sometimes you never know. You know if you need to like react to something or not. Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
understand.
Yes.
I understand. I understand.
Yeah, so by the time with sixth and seventh and eighth, I don't know what it was, but I was in the teenage phase, in the
Yeah.
point where I'm like, I didn't want to be bothered by anyone. I wanted to be alone.
Yeah.
Um, and somehow my mother found my way through it. Just like, yeah. And by the time with eighth grade, I graduated middle school, right? However, I started seeing the battles that my parents were fighting for me, in the point where, like, yo, the teachers or the council themselves, they were trying to send me to a school that may not work for me very well. So I started to see those kind of fights, and then I told my mother, like, yo, you should homeschool me or put me in an online school. In the point where I'm like, yeah, um, it's just it's just quite a journey of how autism just got me here. And then ninth, 10th, 11th, and 12th, I graduated, no problem. and somehow I felt some isolation, you know. So I felt isolation in a point where I'm like, uh, I'm starting to feel alone, and I need some help.
All
So
right.
I started to connect with some people through not just Twitch. My first platform was it was Clubhouse.
Yeah.
If you know what Clubhouse is.
I don't know if I've heard about it before, but
Yeah,
yeah.
so Clubhouse is it's an app during COVID. It was during COVID where it released it. So uh that's where I met some Twitch people over there, like Brooklyn Kaiju or at least Young. Um and from there they thanks to these two, they pulled me into Twitch
Yeah.
actually.
Okay.
And I end up meeting more new people than I thought I would. And then of course with that my journey of autism is funny,
Yeah.
but it's I would say it brought me here, it brought me where I
Yeah.
am, and of course thanks to the help that I received. And then it influenced me musically, uh just me being able to look back where I was before, and
Yeah.
hopefully I can help people who are going through the
Yeah.
same thing through my
Yeah.
own music.
I think it's super inspiring, especially for people who may have the same diagnosis or even other types of mental health
Yeah.
disorders, ADHD. A lot of people have like bipolar stuff like that. It's I think it's inspiring to see someone who has also a diagnosis but who also can manages to get to where you are now. I mean, you're an award-winning musician. You do tours. I mean, you do incredible piano. You have a great platform on Twitch, and you're studying and stuff. So I think it can be quite inspirational for people. And even if you're not like if you don't have any mental health issues, I think it's still something to like look up to, kind of, because you know yeah, it's always inspiring to see someone who's like always like trying to do better and like improve and work and go for their dreams, like go for what they want. And I think that's really
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, and so do you feel like in the music you do, like does your do you notice any like do you have any like challenges around your autism with your career, like music wise or like opportunity wise? Have you noticed any
Hmm.
challenges or yeah?
Honestly, sometimes, yeah, it just depends on the situation. There was this one gig that
Yeah.
uh, there was this one church I tried to play for, but they didn't let me play because I was diagnosed with autism.
Yeah.
Thinking like, oh, he's gonna mess this up. Let's not let him play. So the funny thing is that they called me for rehearsal,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I showed up, and I played the material. Um, and the next day I came, they're like, "Oh, we don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
You can go home." So I'm like, "What?"
That just
So
like that this is yeah, just I mean people, I guess. But
yeah,
like I would imagine that I mean not everyone but some people, like there are a lot of there can be like discrimination and like like stereotypes around autism and stuff, and so
yeah,
people just
yeah.
like are dumb.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's like, well, you guys missed out. You can't
yeah,
get me back. You can't.
definitely,
So
definitely.
so
um
yeah.
it is their loss. It is their loss. Yeah.
Yeah, there's just a lot of challenges I face with that. And then of course with my own music, I
Yeah.
don't have to face that challenge because I already know what I want to do.
Yeah. And do you feel
So
like the autism has kind of because I feel like I don't know if it's like accurate, but I feel like so there's this whole stereotype about autism and stuff, but like So there's like a whole stigma about autistic people are just I mean dumb and stuff, and there's also this whole stereotype of like, but
Wow.
like I think which is dumb because like I haven't known a lot of autistic people, but I have like watched a lot of like not a lot but some materials, and also talking with you, I feel
Mhm.
like people who have autism are actually quite high functional individuals
Yeah.
generally, and they are just like hypersensitive, and they just just a very high like very intelligent, and um I mean, of course, I think it depends probably on the spectrum. I'm not an expert on that, but like
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
most cases, I feel like a lot of autistic people have a very high capacity for creativity, or like like brain capacity. Like I don't know how you say that, but
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're able to do a lot of
Yes.
things, and well, you know what I mean? Like um, yeah, I don't know if
Yeah.
you
So
agree or not. I don't know. But
I can
yeah,
totally agree because my mom and I
yeah,
were talking about it like for the past couple of months. And we're like, you know, I'm starting to let you go.
yeah,
I'm just a bit worried that you know, something bad would happen. I'm like, Mom, I'm okay. I'm
yeah,
gonna be okay. So like I
yeah,
had to reassure her,
yeah. That's
like
good.
yeah, I'm highly functional at some things. At some points I am highly
Yeah,
sensitive about, but but besides that, if I
yeah,
know the situation and if I know what to do, I'll be
yeah,
okay. So
yeah,
like if I need help, I'll call you. So like,
yeah.
you know, yeah, cuz
That's
she's
good.
starting to let me go. And I don't know if I told you, I went to Japan by myself
That's amazing. That's
and it was the
crazy.
first time.
That's cool.
Yes, yeah,
Was it
so it
scary?
was a solo trip.
Was it
Not
scary?
at all.
No.
Not at
Okay,
all.
cool.
I wasn't scared.
That's good. Yeah. But you already
Yeah,
spoke Japanese, right? When you went, so you already had that like kind
yeah.
of language safety kind of thing, I guess. A bit,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It highly
yeah,
depends on the conversation
yeah,
though, because I would say I'm not that fluent yet, but I'm
yeah.
getting there.
But you knew enough to kind of like get around, or like just ask for help if you needed to, right? I guess.
Yeah, yeah,
So
of
I
course.
think that kind of like helps like calm like nerves, or like because like for example me, like I don't know any Japanese, but I could like probably if I like Google Translate it, I could like get a few
Mm.
things. But if I went to Japan now, I would be I would be a little more like not anxious, but I would be like, oh, I need to translate everything, I don't know what they're saying to me. And that, yeah,
Yeah,
that can
yeah,
add a bit of especially if it's your first time traveling, also it can add a lot of like
yeah. Actually, my first
nerves. Yeah.
trip was Korea, and I
Cool.
went there by myself for my birthday.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
my mom was like, actually no, it was New York where my mom was against
Yeah.
against me traveling by myself.
Yeah. I can
So
understand. New York can be, yeah, a kind of thing.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was yeah. So New
Yeah.
York was my first solo travel I've done,
Yeah.
cause I had an
Yeah.
offline meetup
Understandable. Yeah.
with my clubhouse friends, and mom was like, I can't guarantee your safety and all. And it's like mom, you're not allowing me to show you that I'm ready.
Yeah.
Let me show you that I'm ready, and I am
Yeah.
truly ready. So I actually got a hotel right behind her back and all. So
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, if I really want to do
Yeah.
this, then then I could refund. It was through booking.com, so
Yeah.
I didn't have to pay for it
Yeah.
instantly by the time
Yeah.
I booked it. So
Yeah.
so I'm like, you know what? If I really want to do this, I'm sorry, mom, but but
Yeah.
like I don't agree with you. I am ready, and you're not allowing me to show you. So I was gonna ask her for the last time, and when I
Yeah.
asked her for the last time, I'm like, Mom, allow me to show you that I'm ready.
Yeah.
And she's like, Okay, show me. So I
Yeah.
I show the hotel, the flight info, and of course, just like, okay, let me discuss this with your father. So my
Yeah.
parents discussed, and they believe that you're like, you know what, go, go
Yeah.
and see, go and have fun. And so they let me go. Of course, I called my mother, assuring them that I'm safe.
Yeah.
And when I got back, my mom apologized, just like, yo, I'm sorry that I did not
Yeah.
allow you to show me that you were ready. You were ready, and I didn't want to see it.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
That's amazing.
And
I'm so proud of you. I mean, I think we could be proud. You can be proud of yourself. I think that's a huge like accomplishment. I think, especially with for the your first time doing it.
yeah,
Think,
like my first solo travel.
yeah, a lot of people even if they're not like on the spectrum or anything, like a lot of people don't dare to take that leap, even to just go solo traveling. So I think that's pretty cool. Yeah. How did
Yeah.
the trip go? How did the do you remember
For New
how
York,
yeah, your first
New
trip?
York,
Yeah.
yeah, New York was a lot of fun. It was a lot of
Yeah.
fun, and I was able to get around there safely because the one I was with my friends, like
Yeah.
my friends who got my back, and I was the youngest of the group back then. I was
Yeah.
21 or 20. No, I was 20 at the time, so I was
Yeah.
turning 21.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
so this was during September, and then afterwards, actually, after the New York trip, um, I asked my mom, or I was a bit demanding, like, "Hey, mom, I want to travel overseas next for my birthday,"
Yeah.
and she's like, "Oh, okay, sure."
Internally,
She
she was like
was,
sweating. Internally, she's like, "Oh God."
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
No.
yeah. So for my birthday,
Yeah.
she let me solo travel, and I stayed in Korea for
Yeah.
10 days.
Yeah.
And I had some great experiences
Yeah.
thanks to that.
Korea is quite safe. No, it's kind of like Japan, I think. No, I don't know if it's
Yeah,
yeah. It seems quite to be quite a. I mean, obviously there's like things in every country, but I feel like Korea and Japan they're quite like safe countries. Like they're quite like
yeah,
so.
it can be safe, but
Yeah,
it
and
depends on the area.
yeah,
So you
okay,
just
yeah,
gotta be careful
yeah,
either way.
yeah,
So it's more like yeah. So what's even more demanding is that my mom demanded me to call her every single day. I'm like,
yeah,
nah. And then I
yeah,
did the same thing with Japan, but one day my mom was like, "Yo, you don't have to call me. You don't have to call me every single
yeah.
day anymore. Get off the phone and go to sleep."
She was like, "Oh
So
God, let me sleep now. I'm good."
no, it was
Yeah.
nighttime my time. It was nighttime in Japan,
Oh yeah.
and it was morning her time. Just like, boy, you don't have to call me anymore. At least text me that you're safe. I
Yeah.
trust you that you're safe. In the meantime, like, yeah, she was really aggravated because I was calling her more often. And I'm like,
Yeah.
boy, I gotta work.
I love you, Jovan, but now I think we're good. You're good.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah,
work.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, so we were able
Mm.
to manage that
That's
peacefully as
great.
well,
Yeah.
and now she trusts me in the point
Yeah.
where I can travel by myself.
Awesome. So maybe one day you'll come to Europe and we can have a little Jovan show in Europe.
Yeah, if that's possible, sure. Like
Very cool.
I'm thinking about, actually, I might be coming to Europe next year.
I
I
like
might
your
have to.
Maker was like
Oh
Europe.
yeah.
Huh? Yeah, because I don't know if you know this, but
Yeah.
Maker and I have been organized the IRL Streamer Showcase. Well, you know this in October, but there will be more.
Yeah.
So, and
Yeah.
you know Kevin and B Flat, right? BB the
Mhm.
Goat. They
Yeah.
apparently they should be coming to Europe in 2026. So, in case you wanna hop on the
Ah.
wagon,
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
just
They were talking about inviting me, and so since
yeah.
I was planning to come.
That'd
So
be cool. We
yeah.
can do a little show and stuff. That'd be fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Very fun. But yeah, no,
Yeah, I'd be down.
that's amazing. Um, yeah, I think we're proud of you. Because
I appreciate
also
it.
like considering your age, because yeah, you did like yeah, it's amazing that you like had this like willpower to dare do these things on your own. And I think yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, I felt like I was a daredevil
I
when
mean
I
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, but like you know, I mean, I have this thought. Personally, I have this mentality is like you know, if you don't try something, you would never know. I mean, obviously, it depends on what, but like you know, especially to your
Yeah.
towards like your dreams and goals, like if you don't
Mhm.
at least you know try, you will never know, kind of thing. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Um, so yeah, what's next for the future? Where do you see yourself like career wise moving forward?
Um
Yeah, what are
yeah.
dreams kind of like? What's your yeah
Yeah, I
uh,
definitely see myself being really successful in Japan,
yeah
producing
yeah
for anime games
that
and
would be so cool.
movies.
Imagine
So
imagine we have a game, guys. Okay, and Jovan is the person who like wrote the score and stuff. Wouldn't that be so cool? I don't know. That'd be fun.
yeah.
If that
Yeah.
happens, you need to tell me, and I will play the game. I will kind of
Ah man, I'd
test
be
it.
honored.
That'd be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, so I see myself doing that, and then some
Yeah.
tours over there too, and then maybe coming back to the U.S. to do tours as well.
Yeah.
But like living, besides that,
Yeah.
like just living and being successful in Japan,
Yeah.
I could see
And
myself
and,
doing
and
that.
coming to Europe, of course.
Coming to Europe, yeah, yeah,
Of course.
yeah.
Right. Right. Right.
Yes, yes.
No, but no, but that'd be so cool. No, I think that'd be yeah. That sounds fun. No, but yeah, it's so cool that you came over, and it's so nice to hear your experience because, like, you know, as I said, like, you know, a lot of people who even if they like who don't even like they don't even have necessarily like you know a diagnosis,
Mhm.
they don't dare to do like not even like a third or half of what you have like you know accomplished so far. And I
Yeah.
think that you know it can it's like quite it can be quite inspiring for people to be like okay you know if Jovan did it you know maybe I can also do you know do it or and
Yeah.
especially also if people are also on the spectrum and are kind of like scared you know to take the leap or you know do something I think it's quite inspiring also to learn more about you know autism um because I feel like there's still a lot of kind of you know misconceptions or like you know it's still kind of people don't know that much about it yet. I feel
That's true.
so it's
That's true. Yeah, and then I definitely had some discrimination, or at least with autism
yeah
as well. So
yeah
yeah,
yeah
just know that it's sometimes you'll be questioned or so,
yeah
and just be careful.
yeah if you have any advice did you have any advice if people here in that are watching or who will be watching if they watch the VOD
Mm-hmm.
if they also have autism or any other kind of you know diagnosis ADHD you know bipolar whatever it is do you have any advice for these people if they want to like dream of you know I know do something similar to you or any dream
Yeah, yeah. My advice is just number one, don't let people bring you down because of your spectrum, and secondly, you just you just have to take the leap of faith. If you want to do something similar like I did, I've been I've been just taking big leaps of faith constantly without knowing what would really happen. And of course, I am aware that something bad could happen one day, but at the same time, you may never know if you try. So, my advice is just don't let people bring you down because of who you are, be yourself. And secondly, don't be afraid to take that leap of faith. That's it.
I think that's nice yeah